Good morning, Susan with the Magical Forest Bookstore here. And the original goal was to do some yoga every single Tuesday and work through my need to exercise and to be healthier. And just kind of, if I do it online, I'm gonna commit to it. But the reality is, I can only do that for so long before I feel I need to move on to something else. So I don't know yet, other than walking my dogs, what's going to be my thing that keeps me fit and healthy. I think eating better and cutting back on salty snacks would definitely help. But I think just moving every single day and trying to do stuff. So I'm not going to do the same yoga poses today. I think I'm just going to stretch and see how I feel and work on my hips and work on my neck because my neck always feels tight. Yesterday, and I think part of this becomes like a online confessional to me, but yesterday I spent the entire day with my mom. She had to have a procedure done, and because my mother has dementia, we opted to do full sedation. My mother doesn't have dementia all the time. It comes and goes. There are some times where she'll repeat the same question over and over and over and over and over again, like yesterday. Pardon me, sorry about that. And then there'll be times when she seems perfectly lucid. So it's hard to know what mom you're going to face. But I didn't want her to wake up in the middle of the CT scanner and freak out. So we opted to have her fully sedated, which means that we were at the hospital from 7:40 to, I think by the time we were able to get our car from valet, like 3:25. So it was a very long day yesterday. And that's in Chicago. So I still had to drive all the way back home. So some days are good, some days are not so good. And I think today I just need to focus on my mental health, my personal space. So just doing a little bit of stretching today and seeing if that kind of gets me there. So I always have tightness in my neck here, especially on this right side. And I've thought sometimes it's because I'm heavy chested, which certainly might have something to do with it. But I just sort of stretch until I find the spot where it needs it. And then I find if I put my arm out and use the other hand to extend it, it's like right here behind my ear. That's where I always feel the tension. Every once in a while it'll pop, but usually only if I see a chiropractor. Oh. And then I'll just kind of work my way around. Because when I got home last night, all I wanted to do was just veg. So I made myself something to eat, some really good gnocchi, which of course I forgot at home today, which would be my dinner tonight. I meant to bring it for lunch today. But showering, washing, or walking the dogs, there's like 5 million things that I feel like I have to do. Oh. And then eventually we'll get around to like just underneath my skull here, like there's some muscles there that are always tight. And I'm sure posture has something to do with it. Because I'm not nearly as stressed as I was in my previous job. Mostly because I have a lot of freedom here, and I think that's the most important thing to me, is the freedom to say yes to things instead of having to say no because corporate culture determines XXX. So, excuse me. I feel like I also might be coming down with a cold, so yay. Oh, and then finding the other side, which is never as tight. I mean, it's tight, but just not in the same way. It's more in the neck. But I love being able to say yes to people. I love being able to say, yes, I want to do that. Yes, I want that in the store. Yes, I want to help people. Because when you work at a large corporation, you're not the one who gets to say yes. You have to pass the buck along, and inevitably it's no. So you have to follow rules, and sometimes the rules don't make sense. So being a small business owner, which has its challenges, I get to say yes to so many things. Like today, the library is putting together some baskets, and I dropped off my contribution to the baskets. And I don't have the email in front of me, so I don't remember what the event was. I think it's the end of the school year or summer readathon. I think that's what it is. But I dropped off something for the youth librarian. And as I was pulling out to come to the store, there was a man there with a dog. And of course, I've got to stop and pet the dog because it was a really big, brown, fluffy dog, and it was adorable. And so I asked the man, if I could pet his dog. And she was a 3-month-old Leonberger. So very, very cute. And I was saying that I just dropped something off. He goes, oh, yeah, they got it. And I was like, oh, that's good, because, I wanted to make sure that the library got it. And then, I said, because I had to leave to open the store. And he goes, oh, what store do you have? And I told him Magical Forest. And he goes, oh, you're the book lady. I have your fence. Like, my fence? I had donated stuff from my shed at home to a man named Jim, who is creating a community garden here in Fox River Grove. And I had some wire fencing that I had tried to put up between some plants to prevent my dogs from getting into the other dogs, the other yard. But they just climbed right over it. So the wire fence, I had to find something else. So I had that sitting in my shed, and I was like, well, I'm not going to use it. So they got to use it at the community garden, and he is growing beans alongside it. So yay, that's awesome. So yeah, it was just kind of nice to be able to help stuff. So the other thing when I was doing the yoga poses was my lower back. So that, probably because I sit a lot during the day. So just doing a little stretch where I have my leg out. Of course you can't see, and I don't have a zoom control because it's a manual tripod, but just having my right leg out. So right leg out, left leg folded, and then just bending forward. And I can totally feel that, and trying to keep my back straight. But I'm not at the point where I can have my legs out fully and do stuff, but just having it sort of modified helps for me. And you can just sort of really feel it in the lower back. Another thing I get to say yes to is there is an artist named Nicole Javaji who lives in Cary, and she is incredible. If you saw the post that I did on a previous Instagram thing, she's an amazing artist, so talented. And I get to carry her work in my store, which I'm really excited about because it fits my store so much. I mean, it's whimsical, it's beautiful, it's made for little kids. It's Waldorf inspired. Oh, right there. Yeah. And there's birthday crowns and beautiful yarn and bead mermaids that are so cute. And I'm going to switch legs now and do the other side. I can stretch the right side. And she created some artwork that is mushrooms that is just so cute. So really excited to carry her stuff in the store. And then I have a friend who lives in Wisconsin. She is a potter, and she created the double-handed mugs that are on my counter. And she told me of a book that will be published in the next few months, and she's hoping to have the author come and do a book reading here. So I'm very excited about that. So, yeah, I like that. I like being able to say yes to people, and I like being able to support people in making their dreams come true, like the local authors that we have here. So we are going on 10 minutes. This is a long post. So I am going to post this on Instagram. I'm going to stop this now. And I hope you all have a wonderful day. It's going to be warm today, just a little bit of wind and maybe a touch of rain later, but a beautiful spring day. I hope you all have a wonderful day. Take care. Bye.